So this is where we are going to begin. If you haven't already got a Gmail account, you will need to create one. And a Gmail account is considered your overall Google account. With a Gmail account, you'll be able to sign into AdWords, to Analytics, you'll be able to create a YouTube account, you'll be able to create a Google Plus account. Basically, your Gmail account allows you to use most of Google's apps. So if you haven't got a Gmail account, you will need to create one. And what you do is you basically go into sign. Now, if you haven't already got a Gmail account, you need to go to create account. And this will take you to the create a Google account interface. So for this course, I have created a Gmail account for the purposes of testing. So now that we've created a Gmail account, what we need to do is we need to go to adwords.google.com. So now we are in the Google AdWords interface. This is the beginning part. So what happens is that you can go through a guided setup, but we want to skip the guided setup because this now will take us to your settings. Now this is a very important step. It's a very important step and I'll tell you why. Because my first ever Google AdWords account was in British pounds. Now, the British pound is more expensive in conversion than the American dollar. So for every penny that you are spending, for every click or for every impression, that would actually be 1.6 cents, okay? So what that means is that if I had it in American dollars, 1 cent would actually be less than 1 penny. So I'd actually be getting a lot more for my money if I change the currency to American dollars. So you can leave your country as United Kingdom, that's fine. You can change your time zone. This is used for account reporting and billing as said here. But what I would recommend you do is I would recommend that you use the US dollar as your currency. So once that's done, you click save and continue. And now we have landed on your create a first campaign screen. This is basically the screen that you come to when you sign in to Google AdWords for the first time. So if it doesn't look like this when you sign in, it's very possible that Google may have changed the interface for whatever reason. It does happen, but it will pretty much look like this. So the first thing we want to do is we want to uncheck these two boxes because then it will stop you from receiving loads of marketing emails that you may not want. Hopefully you won't need any extra help having gone through this course. So before we actually go into creating our first campaign, let me just familiarise you with what you get up here in this toolbar. This section over here is kind of your settings. So in your notifications, there's none currently for me, but in your notifications, this is where Google will notify you that maybe something's wrong, that maybe you need to do something with your campaign. If you get that, it will show up in your notifications here. This is how Google can directly communicate with you. If we look at this gear icon, let's go into it. This is where you can set up your billing and payments, which we'll go through. Account settings is where you can add people to your account. You can add AdWords managers. Linked accounts means that you can actually link your Google AdWords with other apps on Google. So for instance, Google Analytics, Google Webmaster Tools, that kind of thing. Here is where you can send feedback to Google if you want to contact them about anything, and here you can get help. And as you can see here, Google give you some way of contacting them, which is very important actually, because when you're spending money with Google, when you're confused about what's happening, it's always good to be able to know you can speak to Google and they can support you through any process or with any questions or queries that you'll have. To the left of the icon, we have got your customer ID number and we've also got your Gmail account here. So what you can do here is you can add a Google account from this interface, or you want to set up another AdWords account, you can add one here, or you can sign out. Also, something worth noting is your customer ID number. It's probably a good idea to make a note of this because if for whatever reason you get locked out of your account or maybe even hacked, worst case scenario, if you've got your customer ID, you can contact Google and they can give you probably a little bit more help, be able to pull up your details than if you didn't have your customer ID number handy. So the main tab that you're going to be using is going to be this campaigns tab. Now the home tab is going to give you kind of like an overall general view of your campaigns. So if you want just high level data, this is the tab that will show you it. The opportunities tab is something we're probably not going to use that much of. We will touch on this page. However, opportunities really is where Google suggests areas that you could improve on. For instance, keywords or things that could improve your search data. So we are going to have a look at it, but we'll talk about it more later. Reports are very self-explanatory. It allows you to get all of the data from your campaigns and export it into graphs, into spreadsheets, a bit like Excel really. And you can customize these reports. You can make it show the information which is important to you. So for instance, if you are providing reports for your boss, or if you are doing a Google AdWords campaign for a client, or you're working with somebody and you're the person that needs to grab some of the data from your campaigns, the reports tab will allow you to do that. So now we come on to tools. Now, if we click on that, it gives you a little drop down menu and you get a load of different tools that you can use within your Google AdWords campaign. So the first one here is change history. And this is really good because change history tracks every change that's made in any of your campaigns. So if your AdWords account is managed by a few people, you will be able to see who did what and who's responsible for what. This will show you changes made to ad groups and ad sets. So basically, if a location was excluded, if a certain interest group was excluded or included, this will show you when it happened. Through change history, if you have made any changes that have been detrimental, you can actually revert them back. Then we go to conversions. Now, conversions is possibly the most important tool on here because conversions show you how successful a campaign has been. So you can have a campaign, you can have tons of views of your ad, but the most important thing I'm thinking for you is that conversions matter, that you turn a viewer into a sale, that you turn a browser into a customer. So conversions are really important for you to be able to see how your campaign is doing in terms of converting your audience into customers, how you convert viewers of your ad into sales. Attribution is an excellent tool. Attribution will show you what your conversion was attributed to, what keyword has attributed to your conversion, what ad has contributed to your conversion. This is really important to know where the credit should be given. And this is really helpful also to let you know what has been most effective with getting your conversions, what has attributed to your conversion. Google Analytics is where you can see the traffic being generated to certain websites or certain web pages. So this will provide you with reports of your analytics. Google Merchant Center is to do with your shopping pages. We're not going to be covering that in this course. Now we've got Keyword Planner, Display Planner, and Ad Preview and Diagnosis. These two are really, really useful in order to generate highly effective ads. And the reason why is because Keyword Planner will allow you to find the best keywords, the most trafficked keywords. It'll also allow you to find the most effective keyword for you to be found under. Display Planner will also help you with finding the most effective display for your particular ad. And then Ad Preview and Diagnostics. This is also really helpful in order to show you how your ad will look on particular pages, how it will be displayed to people, and the diagnosis of those particular ads. So that is done. So you have successfully created your first Google AdWords account. But this is the really necessary step in order to actually create campaigns in the first place. If you haven't got this bit set up, you won't be able to progress further on and make effective campaigns. So I hope this has helped, and I'll see you in the next lecture.